Okay, right now I'm going to kind of do a quick little run through of how Pastor Norman wants this, the light portion for this Sunday. So first off, of course, you turn on the board from back here with a little switch that's back here, and that's going to turn on the screen as well as the board itself. Now it's going to go all the way to about maybe 41, and then it should come back on. Okay, 42 comes on, so then the screen's going to turn on momentarily, right? So the very first thing that you want to do is you want to bring up master. Bring up master, and that gives you power to the entire board. Without master on, none of the lights will turn on. So with that master on, the new thing that we have to do is come over to quick looks right over here, click on 1. Alright, now what that's going to do, that turns on the stilettos, alright, the moving lights. Then after that, all you have to do is raise 1 and 2, and that will give us the lights. The lights will be changing colors periodically. This will be for worship only, right? So if we want the next song, we click on playback number 2, and then you click the arrow signifying to go to the next step. So when I click it, you'll see that the lights are going to start changing colors to the next scene that we have set up, right? So then if I click it again, it's going to change again to the next scene that we have set up. And then the crosses are always going to be changing, so don't freak out if you see that they're changing by themselves. They're made to do that. And then let's do it one more time. We have 4 presets for 4 different songs when it comes to worship, so that every single song has a different feel for the worship set. This is the screen you see when the light board turns on. Now, what I like to do is I like to have it, this is stage, you want to click on playback. So playback gives you each and every playback and the percentage of where these are at. So right now you'll see that the Sunday stage lights, right, is nothing. There's nothing put, but there's 4. That's what this means. There's nothing on, but that means there's 4 scenes to this one playback, and I'll show you what I mean by that. And this one is 0. So if I come down here and raise up the Sunday stage lights, which is playback number 1, you'll see a percentage come up. Now that is signifying the percentage that is on the stage. Now let's go to the second one, right? Playback number 2, which is the LED stage lights. We bring it up, and you'll see that the lights, the crosses, the wood, everything will turn on. Now, like I was saying, there's 4 scenes, right? So I have 4 scenes made specifically, 1 for each song during worship, right? So if I were to click the arrow, that takes me to my next scene right above playback 2, follow it, the arrow right above it. So when I click on that arrow, it will change to the next scene. And you'll see right here that it is now changed to 2 of 4. Now if I click on it one more time, right, now you'll see that it is changed to 3 of 4. Now if I click it one last time, it'll go to 4 of 4, which is the 4th light scene that we have on playback number 2. If you click it one more time, it will take you back to the first playback scene, right? Now, during worship, we have 2 fast songs and 2 slow songs, right? So we have 2 praise songs and 2 worship songs. So during the praise songs, the upbeat, fast, when there's a lot of movement usually, and we want to have some motion, some movement in the audience, that's when the stilettos, the 3 moving lights, come into play, right? So I have 2 presets. So this is the board looking straight on it. The first thing I told you to do was turn on quick look number 1. The reason being is so we don't want the stilettos to flash the way we have had them before, when they turn on, when they move around, when we switch them. So with that on, it prevents that from happening throughout the service. I have 2 presets. 2 and 3 on the quick looks gives us a different movement and color. So if I were to click 2, you'll see that the stilettos have now started moving, right? That's a stiletto right there, and it's starting to move and it's starting to change, right? And it's a slow ballyhoo. It's a slow movement of the lights that Pastor Norman was wanting between the first and the second song, which is the praise songs that we have. Slow, not too much in your face, not too flashy. And then if I click on the next one, which is, you want to turn this one off first, and then click on 3, you'll see that it's going to transition into another preset, a movement called circle, right? Now this, you'll see that it's going to hit the walls. It's a circle and it goes slow as well. It's not too crazy, not too fast, and it still gives some type of movement, some type of atmosphere to the worship. Now let's just say we're in the middle of a song, we're in the middle of praise, and Pastor Norman, is saying something along the lines like, oh, let's stop the moving lights, right? If he wants us to stop the moving lights, all you have to do is turn off. If one of these lights are on, except one always has to stay on. You just have to click it once, and then you'll see that the lights will turn off and then go back to its first setting with no flash. No flash whatsoever, and that's the idea. We want to have no flash, no distractions, nothing whatsoever. Now let's just say we're in the middle of a hype, we're in the middle of dancing, we're in the middle of praising God, and we want to go back into movement. You click 2 or 3, right? And they'll start moving again, right? The lights will start moving. We'll see some movement. Now, one of the things that I've noticed is that Pastor Norman also likes to have the lights down here, right? Likes to have these lights down here flashing throughout the song. Now, some of you might be asking, how do I get that to work? How do I get that working? What's the possible way, the easiest way to get those flashing without changing anything else on the stage? So all you have to do is raise up manual right here, right? And with raising up manual, it gives you the option, the privilege to be able to adjust any lights that are on the stage. So with that, the lights that are on the ground are the Mega 64 Plus, right? So you're gonna grab, select, and when they're all green, that means they're selected. Now you go to details, and it's gonna open up our lights, all right? So these are the lights that are selected, and these are the colors. So what you wanna do is when there is an upbeat, you wanna make sure you go with the beat. So if there's you wanna change with that beat, all right? If it's a little bit slower, you change with that beat. So let's just say we got a beat going, just focus on those lights down there. We got boom, 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 boom. All right, let's say it's a little bit faster. You go boom, 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 boom. Right? So you have that option to go however fast you want, depending on how fast the song is. All right? So you take your time. Now, let's just say the song is over and you want to go back to the settings, back to where we started. All you have to click is no change, right? So no change takes us back to those lights. Say it's the next song, all right? New song, new song, new song. So you're going to turn this off right here, new song, and then you're going to click the arrow right above 2. right? Boop. And then it's going to start changing the lights, going into the new song, the new lights for the new song. All right? It's that simple. It's not that difficult. Just go over this video a few times. Try to understand. If you have any questions, let me know. Another thing is that during the video announcements, I know we used to turn off master, but to prevent the flashing and the distraction, all we're gonna have to do is turn off these. So anything that's up on the playbacks, turn them down, and you'll see that the lights turn off, right? But since the Quick Looks 1 is still on, which is in charge of the stilettos, the moving lights, all right, we will not see a flash when we bring back the lights. When before, we used to have a giant flash that would be distracting. So if you have any questions, and then to turn off the board, it's very simple. You close everything out, right? You bring everything down, master, manual, everything. You turn this off. When you're turning everything off, and then you come over here to the cross, then it's gonna ask you, are you sure you want to shut down the system? You say yes, and then with that, you flip the switch one last time down here, and that is everything. Thank you so much, guys.